Ms. Brands.
Thank you. First of all, point out that I have posted articles on the College and Career Center page of the Parent Club website going into some detail on course selection issues for current freshmen, current sophomores, and current juniors, and I also address some of the appropriate college entrance tests that should be taken during those years in high school. So you might want to take a look at those articles. I'm not going to repeat a lot of that information tonight, but I do address some of the common questions about what the visual and performing arts requirement for college and the confusion between the foreign language requirement and the visual and performing arts requirement, since the graduation requirement is somewhat different from the college entrance requirement. So if you have questions about those situations, please refer to the website. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the UC and CSU admissions requirements. I don't want to steal the thunder of the departmental presenters, so I'm going to avoid some of the basics that I know that they'll be covering, but I do want to highlight a few issues. One UC and CSU requirement that in years past I've not worried about at all, but I'm now a little bit concerned about if seniors are allowed to take just 4 classes, is the requirement that during the junior and senior years in high school that students complete 7 of the 15 required UC and CSU subjects. Now this would primarily be an issue for a senior who decides to drop down to 4 classes and perhaps has doubled up on visual arts classes or performing arts classes, the kind of classes that the University of California and the Cal State system are only going to count as one course towards those 7 college prep courses. So as parents of sophomores and even more so of juniors are planning ahead for next year and the year after, make sure you're going to have 7 core academic courses during the junior and senior years. Now personally, I think that 5 academic courses in the senior year is perfectly fine. Some students have already asked me about taking 4 courses as a senior here at Northgate and a couple of courses at the community college. The problem with that plan is that the community college's offerings and availability of classes for high school students is also diminishing. The summer schedule for DVC is about half of the width of the summer schedule last year. So the student who perhaps would like to do that, to take 4 or 5 courses at Northgate and 1 or 2 courses at DVC next fall, really needs to sign up for 5 or 6 courses here at Northgate, because you're not going to be able to nail down a space in a DVC class until walk-in registration in August. So you can't count on getting that class at the community college. Moving on to some of the specific subject requirements, Mr. Meilenberg is going to talk about the science program and which courses meet the UC and CSU requirements. But there's one kind of fine point that I'd like to address, which pertains only to Cal State admission. For Cal State admission, there's a 2-year science requirement, 1 life science, 1 physical science. And that can actually be met with 1 course from the D laboratory science category and 1 course from the G college prep electives category. So a student who took biology, our laboratory science course, could meet the admission requirement for Cal State with earth science rather than with chemistry or physics. And a student who didn't do very well in biology and didn't get those minimum grades of C or better could meet the requirement with chemistry or physics plus sports medicine, which is a life science in the G elective category. But what won't work is earth science and sports medicine. It's really important in this day and age that students continue math throughout high school for four-year colleges plus for community colleges. In order to transfer from a California community college to one of our four-year state universities, a student must pass a college-level math course. And the prerequisite for those college-level math courses is a C in Algebra 2. The number one reason why it takes students, on average, 5 to 6 semesters to transfer from DVC to a four-year college is because they started out at the community college in a high school math class. So it's really important to persist in mathematics throughout high school, to be enrolled in math as a senior so that those skills don't start deteriorating. Tomorrow our seniors are taking the DVC placement tests, and those kids who opted not to take math this year had better be home tonight reviewing their freshman algebra and geometry before that test tomorrow. I'm going to address the regular versus honors versus AP issue. When I was at the Cal State conference this past fall, one of the vice chancellors of the Cal State system was commenting on the number of students enrolling in honors and advanced placement courses and doing poorly in those courses. He said, get good grades in regular college prep classes for Cal State admission. Another issue in terms of GPA is the Cal Grant issue. Our state financial aid program requires that middle income students have at least an unweighted GPA of 3.0 in order to qualify for that Cal Grant, which right now at least still is equal to mandatory fees at both UC and CSU, and up to almost $10,000 a year at private colleges in California. And the student who perhaps errs on the side of taking too many honors and AP courses and earns a lot of C's might not meet that 3.0 benchmark for the Cal Grant. So again, you have to really strategically decide how many of those accelerated classes it's realistic to take as a junior and again as a senior. The University of California certainly sets a higher bar than Cal State does. They admit students based on what courses are offered at the high school and the extent to which they take advantage of those challenging courses. AP courses are automatically approved by the University of California. We do have to jump through a few hoops to get them on our approved course list, but it's more a matter of time and following a procedure than it is of any judgment call. So if enough students sign up for our new AP Environmental Science course, by the time our seniors apply to the University of California and Cal State in the fall, that course will have been approved.